The evening light bled across the city like a watercolor, soft and tired, as if even the sun had run out of hope for the day. The train station plaza hummed with people carrying bags, coffees, deadlines, and invisible burdens. Among the currents of voices and hurried footsteps sat a young black woman in a faded sweater, gently rocking a baby wrapped in a blanket far too thin for the cold. She held the child with the tenderness of someone who had nothing left but love. Her eyes carried shadows, weeks without sleep, months without stability, years without a hand reaching back when she reached out. People passed her the way rain passes over a roof, touching everything but soaking nothing. A street guitarist was strumming nearby, playing cheerful songs because cheerful songs earned better tips. But the moment his eyes drifted to the woman, his music slowed, softened, then stopped entirely. She shifted nervously, adjusting the blanket around her baby. Hunger had carved hollows into her cheeks. She wasn't begging, she was just trying to breathe and keep her child warm. A man in a neat coat paused near her, pretending to check his phone, but really trying to understand whether she needed help or wanted to be left alone. She looked up at him first, her voice barely a whisper. "Sir, could you hold my baby for just a moment?" His eyebrows lifted, surprised. Most people would have clutched their children tighter around strangers, not offered them out. "Hold your baby," he repeated carefully. She nodded, and this time her voice trembled. Just while I sing." The guitarist blinked, confused. The man with the phone put it away. A couple nearby slowed their steps. Something about the way she said, "Sing," fragile and brave at the same time, pulled all eyes toward her. "Why sing?" the man asked gently. She swallowed hard. "Because, it's all I have left. My voice. If I sing, maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will help me get my baby a meal tonight." Silence moved across the plaza like a slow, deep breath. The man held out his arms, awkward but willing. She placed the baby in them with such care it almost broke him. The child blinked drowsily, too used to discomfort, too quiet for its age. Then the woman stood. She closed her eyes. And when she opened them again, something shifted, something small, something sacred. The guitarist set his instrument down, sensing something bigger than his strings. The woman inhaled. And then she began to sing. Her voice rose like a trembling bird learning again how to fly. At first it was soft, almost afraid of being heard. But as the melody unfurled, it gathered warmth, weight, courage, notes shaped by suffering, by dreams that refused to die, by prayers whispered in alleys and shelters and nights colder than broken promises. People stopped walking. The plaza fell silent. Her voice soared. It was a gospel cry wrapped in velvet. A river of pain and hope rolled into one. A hymn born from someone who had lost everything except the belief that tomorrow could still be different. The man holding the baby felt tears sting his eyes before he understood why. The child stirred gently, as if recognizing its mother not by sight, but by the vibration of her soul. A woman wearing business heels covered her mouth with shaking fingers. A teenage boy recording on his phone lowered it slowly, realizing this moment wasn't meant to be captured, it was meant to be witnessed. The singer lifted her chin, pouring her entire being into the open air. The lyrics weren't from any known song. They came from somewhere deeper, somewhere too real to ever be written down. Words about falling yet rising. About storms and shelters. About children being the reason to keep breathing even when life pressed against your ribs like a closing fist. Her voice cracked once, but even that crack sounded beautiful, honest, human. A breeze brushed through the plaza as though the world itself was leaning in to listen. Somewhere in the middle of a note long enough to ache and warm the heart at the same time, a woman in a long coat stepped forward. Her eyes glistened. "Honey," she murmured, "keep singing." The singer did. She let go of fear. She let go of shame. She let go of everything except love for the tiny child watching her with wide, trusting eyes. When the song finally ended, her last note lingered like a blessing that didn't want to leave. For a long moment, no one moved. Then the applause came. Not loud, but heartfelt. Not noisy, but overflowing. It was the kind of clapping that said, "We see you. We feel you. You matter." The woman's knees wobbled, overwhelmed. She pressed a hand to her chest, breath shaking. "Thank you," she whispered. The man gently handed back her baby. "You have an incredible gift," he said, voice thick. "What's your name?" "Amara," she replied softly. "My name is Amara." The guitarist approached her, eyes shining. That voice, he shook his head, speechless. You should be on a stage, not here on the sidewalk. Amara hugged her baby close. Life didn't work out that way. Well, the woman in the long coat said firmly, stepping closer, maybe it's time life changes. She reached into her purse and pulled out a card. I'm a producer. I run a small recording studio. And I've been looking for a voice like yours for years. She smiled with sincerity, not pity. If you want help, I'll give it. Amara froze. I don't have money. I don't even have a place to stay tonight, she admitted. That's why I'm offering, the producer replied warmly. No conditions. No contracts today. Just, let me help you get back on your feet. Amara blinked rapidly, as if afraid to believe. The producer placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. Your voice healed something in me tonight, she said. Let me return the favor. By now a circle of listeners had formed. A middle-aged man stepped forward and handed Amara a small envelope. For diapers, he said quietly. A teenage girl gave her a bag of groceries she'd just bought. Take it, please. Someone else placed money into the guitarist's open case. Then another. And another. Within minutes, the case overflowed. Amara's lips trembled. Joy and disbelief tangled inside her chest. For the first time in a long time, her eyes filled not with fear or exhaustion, but with hope. The producer turned to the crowd. She gave us her heart tonight, she said. Let's give something back. And the crowd did, not because they felt sorry for her, but because her voice reminded them what it meant to be human. Amara held her baby close, the tiny blanket warming under her tears. She kissed the child's forehead. We're going to be okay, little one, she whispered, her voice breaking into a smile. Mama's going to sing again. The guitarist picked up his instrument and strummed a soft chord, as if blessing the moment. Amara looked at the producer, then at the people around her, then at the world she thought had forgotten her. It hadn't. It had been waiting for her voice. Would you, the producer asked gently, sing one more song for us? Amara straightened, cradling her baby. Then she nodded. And when she lifted her voice again, the city listened. Not to a homeless woman. Not to a stranger on the street. But to a mother with a miracle in her lungs. A woman rising from ashes. A voice strong enough to make everyone cry. A voice powerful enough to change her life forever.